Hello and welcome everyone. This is Zamir Sheikh, Faculty of Chemistry. Today I am going to discuss you the nomenclature of coordination compounds. The coordination compounds are the compound where metal and ligand bonding is there, and metal where binds with what ligands. So there is a specific bonding is there, and according to some theories, the ligand and metal bonds are covalent, like valence bond theory. According to that crystal field theory, the metal ligand bond is ionic. So here metal have vacant orbital and ligands of filled orbital. So if you see this electron transfer, the pair of electron from ligand will donate to the vacant orbital of the metal, and there is a formation of a coordinate bond. So the coordinate bond whenever present in any compound, that compound is said to be, or that compound is called as a coordination compound. And coordination compounds have specific geometry. So I have this three different complexes. The majority of the complexes are found in this system. So first of all, what this is a square planar complex, we have a tetrahedral complex, and we have what octahedral complexes. So this square planar and tetrahedral complexes are belong to the coordination number 4. So these two complexes are belong to coordination number 4, while a octahedral complex is belong to the coordination number 6 now. And now today in this lecture I am going to discuss how to nomenclate that inorganic compounds. So there is always a question in competitive exams, so nomenclature, based on that nomenclature many of us are failed to what give the correct or accurate name to the coordination compounds. Okay, definitely you enjoy these lectures and hope you will get something about the how to nomenclate the coordination compound from this video. Okay, so stay connected up to the end. So there are some rules are there. So before that I must tell you what is actually the coordination compound. A coordination compound is generally, the formula for the coordination compound is what, this one. So here the square bracket is given. So this is nothing but the what, coordination pair. So this is called as a coordination pair, where the always metal and ligands are expressed via a square bracket, that is called as a coordination pair. So where M is nothing but the what, central metal ion, particularly belong from 3D, 4D or 5D. You know that a 3D transition series is starting from scandium to zinc, 4D transition series is starting from yttrium to cadmium, and 5D series is starting from what, the lanthanum to what, the mercury. So most of the what coordination complexes are from what, these three series. Okay, now what is that L? Now this L is nothing but the ligand. You know that what is ligand? Ligand is the species or a molecule where it able to donate the pair of electron to the metal ion, and that's why they will be form a coordinative bond. So like this type of bonding will be takes place. Okay, so now what is that X now? So X is a number of ligands which are coordinated to the central metal ion, that is number of L in that coordination complex. So this is nothing but the coordination number, and according to what Werner theory of coordination compound, that X is nothing but the coordination number that will be decide the geometry of the complex. So that will decide the what, geometry of the complex, Now after that square bracket is complete, so this is all about the complex, this one. A complex may be ionic, complex may be neutral. Okay, and now what is that, this one, this is the oxidation state, this is called as a primary valency. According to that Werner theory, this is an oxidation state. Okay, oxidation state. So most important. So this is all about the complex. So actually whole system is called as a complex. Now the complex having two types of what, sphere, one can call as the complex having two types of what, sphere. I will mention that. So what are the two sphere now? First sphere is called as a ionization sphere, where undergo the ionization, and second sphere is called as a coordination sphere. Okay, remember this one, inorganic compounds are classified in two types. One is called as a addition compound and second is called as a coordination compound. Addition compounds are those compounds where if we dissolve to any solvent, if we put in that complex into the solvent or addition compound, it's a lose their identity, they lose their identity. That means they form different types of ion, the complex will be break, that ion will be break, that compound will be break into the ions, lose their identity. So what is that? So actually this compounds are the best example of double salt. You know that alum is there, okay, carnallite is the example of a addition compound. That means they have the simple ionic type of bonding. You know that ionic compounds are dissolved in water, NaCl example, like that. Now what is coordination compound? A coordination compound can't, they don't lose their what identity. That means the coordination pair will be remain, so they may retain their, one can call as a retain their identity, retain their what identity. Say example, if your example is this one, K4 FeCN6. now if I have this complex now, so I just when you dissolve in the water, what will happen? So you will get 4 potassium ion and remaining your thing is what remaining, FeCN your 6 and what charge will be 4 minus. That means your this entity will be retained, and that's why inorganic compounds are classified as a addition compound and coordination compound. Okay, this one. Now we will talking about this coordination compound. Now this coordination compound is also be called as a complex, having two types of a sphere. One is called ionization sphere, second is called as a coordination sphere. A ionization sphere present in both the side, maybe in some cases what at this side, in some cases present at this side. Now okay, generally the cations are present at this side. Generally what, the cations, the metals, first group elements are generally present, ammonium ions are present at this side, and in some cases what, at this side anions are present like chloride, okay, like sulfate ion, bromide ion, iodide ion, etc., etc. Okay, so this part and this part may be ionized and under the what, solvent reaction, but this part cannot undergo the what, a ionization. So that's why they retain their identity. So remember this point. Okay, so ionization sphere is, it is a type of a counter ion that will balance the oxidation state of the system. Okay, this one. So how to nomenclate that complex now? Okay, so basically what, this is actually complex and we have to nomenclate that complex now. So I will give the two example of both the complexes. The first example is this one, K4 FeCN6. Suppose I have this complex now. How to balance this complex? Or suppose I have 4 potassium ion, these are the counter ion. If 4K, that is 4 positive ions are removed from the system, then 4 negative will be appear. So that means your complex must be FeCN6, and how many charge are there? How much? This is 4 negative. So this is the complex of a this type, where cations are at the ionization sphere. Now what about these anions now? So look at this one. So first complex of a cobalt, CONH3 6, okay, and these are the Cl3. Now in that complex what, if I remove the 3 chloride ion, so then what will we get now? So CONH3 6 time, and this is what, 3 plus, because I removed the 3 negative. Suppose this complex is reacted with the Ag NO3, so you will get the 3 AgCl will be precipitated out now. Now look at these two examples now. Okay, so here cations are there, here anions are there, and actually what, this is your complex ion. Now this complex is called as a anionic complex, while this complex is called as a cationic complex, because there is a cations are there, because there is a anions are there. So that's why we can classify it. So these are the some basic requirement to nomenclate that any complex. Okay, so we'll proceed to the first, we'll proceed to the what, first one can say the rule number 1. So rule number 1. So in the naming of complex, the name of cation is given before the name of anion. Okay, so basically it is what, the anion. That means a positive part should be first come while we are naming the complex now, than what, the anion. Okay, then later will be the anion will be there now. Okay, we will see the first example of this complex now. Okay, so I have this example is a CONH3 3 6 time, this is the square bracket, that is coordination complex, and these are the 3 Cl ions are there. Now first this complex will be a form into 2 ionic form, 2 ions will be developed. So this is CONH3 6 time, and here 3 Cl negative will be there, and here 3 positive. Now look at this one now. So as per the rule number 1 is given, so naming of complex, the cation will be first, then what the anion. So this is the cationic part, this is what anionic part. Okay. So first what we have to put up the name of what cation, then what the put up the name of what anion. Okay. This is the rule number 1. Say I have another example, suppose K4 efficiency potassium ferro, suppose I have this is K3, I will take this complex now, K3 Fe CN6, and now again, so you have to first give the name of cation. What is the cation now here? So there are 3 potassium ions are there, so 3 K plus is given. Okay. And what about this now? FeCN6, and what about this charge? 3 negative. So remember this one. So first we have to put up the name of cation. Now in this case what, cation will be here, in this case cation will be here now. So we have to give the name like this fashion. Okay, like this one. Okay, we will this one. So this is the first rule by naming the complex one. First identify the cationic part always, and then anionic part. Okay. Now what is the rule number 2 now? In case of our rule number 2, so naming of coordination sphere, that is that cationic part, if your cationic part is a complex or a coordination sphere, then in that cationic part there are 2 parts are there. So example I have, this is CONH3, we will take the same example, I just, this is CONH3, and what is the charge now? This is 3 plus now. Now in that complex, so we have to name the ligand first, that is this part will be first, then metal will become now. So now if more than one ligands are there, then we can use the di, tri, tetra, penta, etc., etc. So here 6 amines are there, so you can mention the hexa, and you know that there are 6 amines are there, and you know that there is a special name is given, that is 6 hexa amine, and then will be the name is called cobalt and oxidation state, whatever the oxidation state is there. Okay. So that means in coordination complex, first we have to give the name of ligand, name of what, ligand will be there, and the number will be indicated in the terms of what number, like di, tri, etc., etc. Okay, this one. So I have the another example. So FeCO5, this is the complex now, it is a neutral complex. Why? Because of CO is a neutral ligand. So what is the name of this complex now? This one. So this is penta, 5 carbonyls are there, pentacarbonyl, and this is what, iron. Okay, and whatever the oxidation state is given, it must be mentioned in the Roman letter. Okay. So likewise this is the rule number 2. So in the coordination sphere, so first name will be given to ligand, and then it will be named toward the metal ion. Now there are different types of what ligands are there. So the naming of ligand based on first of all its order, that is alphabetical order. If you have different types of ligands are there, you can use the alphabetical order. And second classification is based on charges. Charges means either ligand may be neutral, either ligand may be what, anionic. So if it is a neutral, then you can simply use the special name. For example, I have the H2O as a ligand, then you can I will use the what, aqua. If I have the CO as the ligand, then I will use the what, the name is a carbonyl. If I have the amine, then I will use that amine. Then if what NO, sorry, this is ammonia. If ammonias are there, we can mention as the amine. If NO, that is nitrosyl. Okay, like this. So whenever neutral ligands are there, you can use the special name. These are the some names. Okay, you can also visit to what, any reference book, you will see the number of different ligands are there and respect to their naming. Okay. Second important is what, if your ligand is now anionic, if your ligand having negative charge, then what, negative charge means the ligand, name of the ligand substitute with the what, or end with the what name is O now. So we have to substitute the O. Say example, I have the list of what some ligands are there. So I have suppose F negative, F is there in the complex, then I will use the fluoro. So O is a suffix. Okay, I will use for the negative ion. Then hydroxo, then what, cyano, then what, azido, then what, imido, nitrido, amido. Okay. Then hydrido, ido, chloro, etc., etc. So these all are the negative ligand. whenever the present in the complex, we have to substitute with the O now. Remember this one. Okay, this is about the ligands. And whenever we have, suppose I have, this is a platinum complex and this is Ca. No, one second. Suppose I have, this is a platinum complex, this is a Cl, then Br, then I, and then F. These all the 4 different halogens are given. Now all, you know that all the halogens are what, negative system. Then you can use the according to alphabetical order. So then chloro, bromo, iodo, like that. So bromine will be first, so bromo, then chloro, then fluoro, then iodo, then what, platinate, etc. What is the oxidation state? What will be the oxidation state? Okay, this is what rule number 3. Now rule number 4. So when each ligand is present more than one time, so example ethylene diamine, you know that ethylene diamine is a ligand where more that is 2 denticity is there, okay, and already there are 2 donor atoms are present in this system now. Then you can use the Greek letter as what, bis, tris or tetrakis. So where we have to use now? So whenever these ligands are present in the more than one time, then for 2, suppose it is present in 2 times, then you can use the bis. If it is a 3, then it is called the tris. If it is a 4 times, then it is called the tetrakis. So I will tell you some more interesting example. This is the Wilkinson catalyst. You know that Wilkinson catalyst, what, a catalyst for hydrogenation, RH, and this will be what, PPH3 thrice, and this is Cl. Now this is your whole complex, right? Now in that complex, which is the central atom? Central metal ion is rhodium. Okay, and there are what, 4 ligands are there. 3 are the triphenyl phosphine. What is triphenyl phosphine? Where phosphorus is linked with the 3 phenyl ring or 3 benzene ring. Okay, like this one. You know that there are already 3 ligands are, 3 phenyl rings are present. That is, each PPS3 is called as a triphenyl phosphine. Okay, phosphine. Each PPS3 is called as a triphenyl phosphine. That means we are already used that tri word. Then and same ligands are present in thrice. Then you can use the tris. Okay. Now what is the name of this one? You know that triphenyl phosphine. Phosphine means phosphorus and chlorine means C. So that's why first will the name of ligand. So the name of the ligand will be chloro. Okay. Then you can mention the square bracket. This is tri. Okay. Chloro tri, okay, and then you can use the square bracket, then you can use the what, the bracket, that is triphenyl phosphine, okay, or simply what, we can use the tris, okay. This is tris means this is the 3 times, and we can call it as a triphenyl phosphine, okay, chloro tris triphenyl phosphine rhodium, and oxidation state, whatever oxidation state is given, we have to mention in the Roman letter. And you know that inorganic compounds are one sentence compounds, so always we have to give the continuous name in that system now. Okay, this is what rule number what, 4 now. Now after that ligand, then we have to name of the metal ion. So how the metal ion will be mentioned? So you know that in the case of what complexes, there are different types of what complexes are there. Okay, complexes are of generally what charge, or complex may be what neutral. So for neutral complexes or charged complexes, there will be no issue to writing the name of the metal ion. But in case of what anionic complex, whenever we have what anionic complex is given, then we have to substitute the ATE at the end of the metal ion, name of the metal ion. Okay. So and in that case we have to use that system now. So and in some cases what metals names are mentioned in the what Latin word. Say example iron, so we can call as a ferrate, copper, cuprate, Ascent, that is tin, stannate, lead, that is called plumbate, then gold, aurate, and if you have silver, then you call the argentine, and many more. Chromate is there, cobalt is there, nickelite is there. So whenever anionic complex is given, then we have to mention the name of the metal ion also with the ATE at the end. Okay. So and there are many examples are there. We will see the first example of that complex. Suppose Fe CN6 and this is 3 negative. So now what we have to do now? First what, hexacyano. This is what, this is hexacyano. Okay, and that it is an anionic complex. So ferrate and oxidation state will be 3 now. Okay. So any other, you can take the any other example. So must be mentioned the name like this fashion. Suppose here 3 potassiums are given now. So K3 is given. Then firstly we have to mention the word potassium. So potassium, okay, like this one. Oh, remember this one. Okay, so rule number 6 now. Most important is what? After the naming of the metal, then what is the remaining now? Oxidation state. So oxidation state must be mentioned in the Roman letter. Okay, oxidation number. Suppose I have this complex. So how to identify this oxidation state now? So I have to find out the oxidation state of iron. So iron. So that means there are 3 potassiums are there. So the charge will be +3 because each potassium is a +1. And for that iron we have to find, that is X. We can consider this one, and we have to sum of all the charges in the complex. What is oxidation number? We have to first collect the all the charges. Okay, then how many cyanides are there? 6, and each cyanide having -1 charge, because here C triple bond N is mentioned in this format. That's why each cyanide having charge is -1. So complex must be a 0 here. So now this is +3, this is -6 now. So here one can mention X is equal to +3. So your oxidation state of the complex is +3 now. So how to name that complex? So like this one. So this is potassium, this is potassium, then name of the ligand hexacyano, it is anionic ligand, so O must be there, and here complex is anionic, that's why must be mentioned as a ferrate, and oxidation number will be 3 now. Okay, so there are many examples you can consider. So I have just chosen this as K3 potassium example. Okay, efficiency example. Now rule number 7. So those complexes having bridging type of the ligands, the name of bridging ligands is again essential parameter. So generally what hydroxy group as act as what bridging ligand, NH2 group is also be act as what bridging ligand. Okay, there are many examples are there, common example one can say, and based on that we can nomenclate that complexes. Now how? So whenever bridging ligand, bridging means what? A metal, these ligands are simultaneously coordinated with the, okay, so that means your ligand simultaneously coordinated with the 2 metal ion like this. So this ligand is called as a bridging ligand. So here example is mu, here example is what? NH2. Okay, and for that we have to mention the word as a mu before the naming of ligand. Suppose I have this OH, then I will mention mu hydroxo, mu hydroxo. I have this NH2, then I will mention what? The mu amido. Okay, so these are the what naming of the bridging ligand. Now so I have this complex now, NH3 4 time Cr, then OH NH2. So this OH and this NH2 will be the bridging ligand, and then so the complex is remaining. So here I have to must mention the mu. This is mu hydroxo, comma mu amido. Okay, like this, and the remaining things are similar. So I have suppose this complex, how to nomenclate that? So there are only one OH is present. Okay, so if I have this only one OH is present, so then how I nomenclate that complex now? So okay, so for that complex I will mention this is mu hydroxo, mu what? Hydrox. Now this part and this part is similar, so you can use the word as a bis. Okay, so we can be hydroxo then bis, and what is the present in the square bracket? So in this bracket pentamine. So what is that? Pentamine, because here 5 amines are there, here 5 amines, everything is similar, that's why I use the word is bis. Okay, pentamine, pentamine what? Which is the metal now? Chromium. So chromium, and oxidation state. So oxidation state will be what? Here in this system oxidation state, whatever the oxidation state 3, and here mention the name is called the chloride. So in this way we can nomenclate that system bridging ligands. Okay, now rule number 8 now. So this is what last. So in the case of what isomeric complexes, you know that coordination complexes show the isomerism. Okay, and 2 types of what isomerisms are there. One is called as a structural, and second is called as what? The stereo. And in that stereo is important. So naming of stereomeric complexes. So there are 2 types of what complexes are there that will be formed. Geometrical isomers are generally formed or generally possible for square planar and octahedral complexes. Remember, and optical isomers are possible for tetrahedral and octahedral complexes. Okay. So, geometrical isomer cannot be possible for tetrahedral system, while optical isomers are cannot be possible for what the square planar system. Okay. Now, then if we have geometrical isomer, then I will use the cis and trans. In organic chemistry, we are use E and Z nomenclature similar to that of whenever in a coordination compounds cis trans isomers are there, that is geometrical isomers are there. So, I will preferentially use the cis and trans, and whenever optical isomers are there, then I will use the DL or minus and plus type of what isomerism for the notification, okay, or for the notation. Now, for geometrical isomers, so we will see this one. So, geometrical isomers are possible for two complexes, one is called square planar, second is called octahedral. Now, in square planar complexes, you know that I have mentioned these numbers, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3 and this is 4. At that 1, 2, 3, 4 we can mention the name of ligand or mention the what ligands, okay. And in case of a octahedral, we will also have 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 and 6 position, okay. In that case 6 ligands, in square planar only 4 ligands are there. Now, which are positions are called cis? Those positions are having their 90-degree angle, or one can say suppose this is the cis position, this is cis because cis means same side, this is cis position and this is also called as a cis position. So, that means 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4 and 4, 1 are all the cis position. What about the trans positions now? The trans positions are called as a 3 and 4, 3 and 1, sorry, this is one trans and this is another trans, that is why trans positions are what always the less number, 1, 3 and 4, 4, 2 are the trans, okay. So, I have the one more example for act as anti-cancer agent, you know that the complexes of platinum amine complex. So, this is twice and this will be twice now. If you look this complex now, so this complex is belong to the category of Ma2B2. There are two ligands of different category, and in that case what we can mention the name here, look at this. So, this is what NH3, Cl and Cl. Now, look at this. These two amine groups are on same side, these two Cl are on same side, that is why it is a cis isomer, and for that we have to make the trans also, possibility is there, trans also. Now, look this. Now, naming of these complexes are what you have to use the cis and trans terminology, because these isomers are possibly show the geometrical system. Now, what about these octahedral complexes? For octahedral complexes, more positions are cis, all positions are called cis. Now, 1, 2, then what, this 1, 2, 3, then this one, then this one, these are the 4 first position. With respect to that 5 and with respect to that 6, we have another 4 positions are there. So, 5 1, 5 2, 5 3, 5 4, 6 1, 6 2, 6 3, 6 4, all are the cis position, okay. Beside that also we have 4 positions are there. So, total there are 4 4 4, 12 positions are there called as cis. Now, what about the trans now? The trans means opposite, they have 180-degree. So, 1 3, 1 4 2, 5 6, and we have to see the type of what. Now, we have to first identify which isomer will be showing the cis trans. So, in that case Ma4B2, Ma3B3, they are generally two example for showing the cis and trans type of isomerism, okay. Now, and lastly for optical isomerism, optical means what, they having optical activity, okay. That complexes are asymmetric, they do not have any kind of symmetry, okay. So, like reflection, rotation or what any, there will be no symmetries present, those complexes are called the optically active. Now, optically isomers are designated as plus or D, that is also called as a dextrorotate, that means they rotate the plane of polarized light toward the clockwise direction with respect to their positive angle, and negative or L is also be called as a levorotatory, okay. Do not be confused with capital D or capital L. The capital D and capital L are nothing but the they are the nomenclature, they are structural based nomenclature according to Fisher, okay. So, according to Fisher, okay, formula, whenever we have Fisher formula, then we are only using capital D, capital L, but small d, small l are experimental based nomenclature, remember, okay. Now, I have suppose this is example and already the D is given, that is this complex is the dextrorotatory complex. Then how will nomenclate that complex now? So, for that I will use first a name of the cation part. So, this is potassium, okay. Then I will mention that activity, whether it is a plus or minus, this is a dextro. So, I have to use the word is a positive, and then how many, this is what C2O4 means, what C2O4 is a bidentate ligand. Look at this, this is O negative and O negative. So, this is actually called as a oxalate oxalato, one can call as OX di-negative. Okay. Now potassium, how many they are there? So must be a 3. So sorry, it is a bidentate ligand, so you can mention this iridium. This is what? This is this trioxalato. Okay, and iridate because iridium is in negative state, or it's an anionic complex, and oxidation state will be what? This 3 now. So we have to use like this nomenclature. Okay. So hope you enjoy this lecture, and if you have any kind of what query or any kind of what difficulty regarding that, so mention your comment in your comment box, and hope all of you are doing well. Stay connected, stay safe, okay, and stay strong, and must subscribe our channel, okay, and share this video as per as maximum, okay, and thank you for watching.